Hey everyone, I'm Emily Compo.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and get into this little green card debate. Not green card debate, but H1B visas and this Trump gold card.
Major changes coming to the H1B worker visa program after President Trump signed a proclamation that he says will ask companies to pay $100,000 a year for skilled worker visa applicants coming to the United States. Madeline Rivera is here in studio with more. Hi, Maddie.
Hi, Mike. So this is interesting. The Trump administration has brought up a number of frustrations with the H1B visa program. The H1B visa allows employers to petition for highly skilled foreign professionals. The administration says it's been exploited to replace American workers with employees who are paid less. They say that makes it harder for Americans, especially college grads, to find jobs.
And I've been speaking about this. And the reason I speak about it is because it happens a lot in the tech sector. And if you ain't been in here before, I'm a tech graduate. And I see this happen a lot in tech where entry-level positions are being filled up by H-1B visas. And I'm okay if you need to bring out some specialist from Turkey who's a nuclear engineer. Cool, bring that guy over. Great. But even those guys will sit there and say, yeah, it's cool when we're brought over for high position jobs. But even these guys will tell you that we do feel like we're taking away from Americans when we're coming in for mid positions or mid-level positions and entry-level positions, because these are the positions meant for the college graduates. Like, if we're out here giving these tech jobs to the H-1B visa guys, what the hell are we sending our kids to college for and putting them in debt for? Why are we doing that if they're not even going to have a job to come out with and it's going to be given to somebody else because what? The company can pay them for less? And that's right. I mean, you might as well abandon the whole college system if that's what we're going to do to our children. Like, are you serious? And then the Dems sit there and stand for it, like, as if this doesn't affect them as well.
Critics also say there are national security risks by fewer Americans pursuing careers in science and technology. About 85,000 H-1B visas are available each year. Recipients are typically chosen through a lottery system. That number could go down significantly if the $100,000 annual fee for these visas survives legal muster.
If you're going to train somebody, you're going.
Lord knows the Dems are going to fight this tooth and nail. I just wonder what their argument is going to be, though, because it's just like, come on. Are you really going to sit here and try to undermine the American worker? Like, what's your argument going to be for that, Dems? I'm curious.
Going to train one of the recent graduates from one of the great universities across our land, train Americans, stop bringing in people to take our jobs.
And to be honest, 185,000 immigrants, H-1B visas, if they're all paying $100K, that would be $18.5 billion a year we would get for every year these guys are in here. If we was a managed to get up 185 immigrants, these companies are paying $100K for them to stay here. Oh yeah, they're not doing that. They're not doing that. Yeah, these companies are going to start hiring American workers.
That's the policy here. $100,000 a year for H-1B visas, and all of the big companies are on board.
Tech companies will likely feel the brunt of this change. Government data shows Amazon has the largest group of H-1B visa workers, with Microsoft, Meta, Apple, and Google trailing behind it. Back in December, President Trump said he supports H-1B visas. Elon Musk credited the program with bringing him to America and allowing him to hire people for his.
Actually, that's one of the main reasons I disagreed with Vivek and Elon Musk. And I agree with Vivek on a lot. But that H-1B visa argument was BS. His argument back was highly disrespectful to Americans. So I was just like, yeah, bro, I'm not who you're. I don't know who you're standing up for, but it ain't Americans. It sounds like you're standing up for the people back in India, and not the American people that you're supposed to be for. You're supposed to be on our side. You didn't become a billionaire in America, dude. You became a billionaire in America. I mean, well, you didn't become a billionaire in India, but you became a billionaire in India. Show the country some damn respect.
Companies SpaceX and Tesla. Separately, the president is rolling out what he calls a gold card immigration pathway. It would expedite visas for immigrants who can pay a $1 million fee. Companies can pay $2 million to sponsor an employee. The president says the gold card could bring in billions of dollars in revenue, which he says will reduce the country's taxes and pay off debt, Mike.
We will follow it. Maddie, thanks so much.
You got it.
For more on this, I'm joined by Pennsylvania Congressman and House Financial Services member, Congressman Dan Muser. Congressman, welcome.
Mike, great to be with you.
First, let me get your reaction to this change to the H-1B visa program.
Well, you know what? The largest change actually is that the rules of the H1B will now be enforced because they really weren't before. It wasn't managed. No one was held accountable.
Yeah.
85,000 people were coming.
And that's why everybody was at Elon Musk's neck when he was defending it, because like, dog, you're one of the main people we're talking about. You're a tech, you got a tech company, and you guys be abusing H1B visas. Like, yeah, Elon, you're guilty of it too.
Coming in a year. They would overstay their 3-year allowables. There was no tracking after that. So the whole thing was terribly mismanaged. And the president, you know, frankly, is just absolutely right. I mean, he was elected to carry out his America First agenda. You've got young people spending $200,000, $250,000, $300,000 on college degrees. To get these type of tech jobs.
Yep. Thank you. Like, bro, literally kids spending, man, I ain't gonna lie, I didn't spend that much. Thank God I ain't spend that much. But bro, I know people who done spent that 100,000 and they walk out there and it's being given to H1B visas. That's what I'm saying. It's like, what's the point of us even going to college if you're just gonna give it to some Indian who only had to go to college for 2 years? And then they got this whole degree, like the degree manufacturing BS going on in India. And we're supposed to just sit by and lose our jobs to these guys? And in India? Oh, hell no. Nah. Bro, y'all done lost your mind. I mean, y'all ain't got no American pride if that's how y'all want to go out.
After graduation, and yet, you know, we're giving so many of them away. I mean, it's gone up rapidly. The numbers don't lie. It's like 28% now of those jobs are fulfilled by foreign workers. And you know what? The employers are taking advantage of that. They feel they can pay them a little bit less since they're coming from other places with less per capita. And now with this $100,000 fee sort of equalizes it, and we'll see how it goes. You know, the president puts these things, and Howard Lutnick, you heard, we'll see how it goes.
Well, if it's late September, you know, Congressman's having a government funding fight. Now, you all passed a continuing resolution in the House, and then it failed in the Senate.
Lincoln, bro, you might as well go work as a corporate lawyer at this point, because you just made a very good argument for the corporate elites again. They don't, bro. You want to know how they make these American companies better? I'm gonna tell you, because it's cheaper labor and they get to increase their profit margin. So I mean, once again, here's a Democrat holding water for the corporate elites again. I mean, they don't make it better with what technology or work. No, they make it better because they get more profit because they're hiring people for less through the H1B visas. So I mean, hey, if y'all want to keep holding water for these corporate elites that you claim to hate so much, I mean, I thought y'all hated Elon Musk and all these billionaires. I thought you believed they shouldn't exist, but you were literally preaching for upping their profit margin. Like, if you know that hiring an American citizen is more expensive and is beneficial to America, why are you trying to make the argument that, oh, no, these guys are actually better? Oh, no, they're better for the American companies. But no, it's not because they're smart. It's because they're cheap. And that helps them on their profit margin. So once again, Dems, I mean, are you really against billionaires? Are you?
So, Congressman, how does this play out?
I'm confused.
Well, we did pass it in the House. You know, it's a continued resolution. There's a couple of other things, but it's very clean. It makes all kinds of sense. Look, the only reason we didn't get our appropriations bill done by September 30th is because we had the BBB, and that was highly significant. That was the priority, and it was so very important to get done. So we need a little bit more time here. The idea that the Democrats are playing ridiculous politics here is an extension into November. There's really no harm behind it. You know, Chuck Schumer is all concerned about, you know, his political position, and it's just terrible. You know, it's once again, they're putting politics over people, and that's not a cliche. I mean, that's the action that's taking place. So we need to get this done. The Senate needs to pass it. We need to get on with the people's work, and it's very important.
I mean, look, man, if American students being undermined who paid thousands of dollars for their degree doesn't piss you off and you still want to make the argument for these immigrants, then I'm being honest with you, dog. You're slightly un-American. That's I'm not gonna say you're un-American, but that is a very un-American position.
And if not, we shut down the government, which will it really in the end helps no one.
At this point, House leadership, Congressman, is not planning on bringing members back until after the deadline. In your view, is that likely to change?
It could. right? We'll all certainly be on standby. This is very, very important, but it's really up to the Senate now. We did our job. It's a good CR. It's clean. It's for a short term. The Senate now needs to act. We got serious issues that our country needs to address: economy, national security, NDAA. In my committee in financial services, we're working on combating fraud. There's a lot of work to be done. We need to get this budget done, get the appropriations bills completed, move on, do the people's work, strengthen our economy. Because I'll tell you what, Mike, we're really on a roll. Every indicator, people.
Yeah, and the current CR bill as well, it passed the House, but the Senate rejected it by 48 to 44. And of course, the Dems want to throw in their Medicaid's increase and all that good stuff that got rejected. And of course, people wanted to try to add stuff, run it again, and it got rejected. So yeah, the CR bill, I don't know. It is hilarious how these guys kind of just don't know how to agree on budgeting. I'm like, you guys do have to come to an agreement or the government shuts down. Like, I don't even care. I really don't care, Republican or Democrat. You guys need to get y'all ish together, or you're gonna hurt the American people through your childishness, through your petulant ways. We ain't doing it. I'm casting admonishment on both sides, honestly, because it's ridiculous. Like, the CR bill, in my opinion, should be the one thing there should just be no argument in. We should just get it through. It is what it is. We just can't afford to let the government shut down.
I want to say, tariffs are doing this.
If you're about helping the American people, that's if. And it doesn't seem like the Dems are for that. They'd rather have the government shut down than probably about a month from then, where everybody forgets that it was them who let it shut down. They're going to try to blame Trump.
And we're seeing the Fed lowering its interest rates finally. That needs to continue. We think it will. So we can have a great 25 closing out, accelerated economic activity in the fourth, have a higher GDP, and really have a great 2026.
Let me follow up on that quickly. You're a financial services member. What's the impact, or what's the state of the American economy?
It's very, very good, and I don't say that because that's Dan Muser's view of things. I talk with bank presidents. I talk with Federal Reserve folks. I talk with certainly the administration. I talk with a lot of banks. I talk with a lot of businesses, international businesses. Things are having a sort of a soft landing, if you will. There's really no concern for a recession. We got pro-growth initiatives, companies, the CapEx investments are coming in. We see some of those foreign investments coming in. Those interest rates really need to come down because housing needs to kick off from that. And the lower interest rates creates even more pro-growth supply side production. Once that domestic American-made production meets demand or exceeds demand, that's certainly the definition of lowering inflation.
Let's be real though. One way, like, if you lower the interest rate, that means people can borrow money more. They can start maybe building some apartments, some houses, and kind of bring down that whole scarcity problem with housing. That's one of the benefits of cutting down the rate. Now, here it is. They're cutting the rate isn't the end all. It isn't the fix-all situation. If you think cutting the rate is a fix-all situation, you're wrong. But it does help on how people borrow money. It does help stimulate the economy and all that good stuff. So it helps, but it's not the fix-all situation. And it also does help cut our payments on the debt.
So I think we got some good things going. We can't let Schumer and those who are looking out for their politics rather than the best interest of the country. There is a time to govern. There's a time for politics. There's a time for govern. Let's get things done for the American people. So we have these economic opportunities moving forward.
Congressman Dan Muser, thank you so much for your time today. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Mike.
Hey, it's Will Kane. Click here.
All right, man. Let's get into this, man. Van Jones shows the message Charlie Kirk sent him one day before his assassination. So let's get right into it. Anderson Cooper and Van Jones.
Students at Utah Valley University gathered to pay tribute to Charlie Kirk, who was assassinated on their campus just 9 days ago. The vigil comes ahead of Sunday's funeral for Kirk. Tens of thousands are expected to attend, including President Trump. His murder and some unexpected outreach that Kirk made the day before his death have resonated with our CNN colleague Van Jones. The story begins when a Ukrainian woman was fatally stabbed last month in North Carolina. The suspect is a black man, and Charlie Kirk and Van got into a public sparring match online. Kirk claimed the murder happened because she was white. Van denounced that as completely unfounded. Kirk then sent out what Van...
The funny thing is, though, this is probably the one time I was on Van Jones' side. Usually I'm on Kirk's side, But that was the one time I was on Van Jones' side with this whole subway situation. Everybody was saying, oh, he did it because she was white. It was about her being white. And my argument was, all right, look, first off, this guy has a crazy history of mental health. His own mother said he shouldn't be let out of jail. This insane bastard called the police before he got on that train and said, yo, I'm hearing voices in my head. Now he gets on this train and there are a group of 3 white guys, like 2 sitting down, 1 standing up, standing right there in front of him. Right there in front of him. He's sitting down and there's these group of white guys, 1 seat up from him. There's just standing right there in front of the door. And this is before the young lady even came onto the bus. So here's my argument. If it was about race and it was about him saying F white people, then why didn't he attack those group of white people that was standing right in front of him? If it was about F white people. And and that's my argument to it. So I honestly believe this was about mental health. And this goes further into my argument as well. I forgot this detail that when they asked him why he did it, he said, well, I was hearing voices in my head. I thought she was calling me the N-word. It's like the bro was literally insane and it had nothing to do with, well, her being white. Even though he walked off and said, oh, I got that white girl. Yeah, I'm be honest with you. He was high out of his mind. And he's just repeating what he did. Just like how I see young black men online regrettably celebrating the death of our own. Yeah, they do it to other races as well. And that's not defending it. But that's me standing on the ground of, no, this wasn't about race. This is about a mentally ill person who is given way too many chances.
Calls a fire hose of tweets challenging his argument, which Van says sparked death threats against him. In the midst of all of this, Kirk reached out to Van in a direct message on X. Hey, Van, I mean it. I'd love to have you on my show to have a respectful conversation about crime and race. I would be a gentleman, as I know you would be as well. We can disagree about the issues agreeably.
Yeah.
And that message was sent on September 9th.
I mean, that's pretty much what Charlie Kirk was about. He's like, hey, Vance, I meant it. I'd love to have you on my show to have a respectful conversation about crime and race. I would be a gentleman, as I know you would be as well. We can disagree about the issue, agree. I mean, that's all he wanted. And they were just going to get on there. He was going to give his stance on mental health. Kirk was going to give his stance on, oh, why did he say I got that white girl? They was going to go at it. And it'd have been a respectful debate, and that'd have been it. Where's the hate in that? Where is it? There's none at all.
Agree about the issues agreeably. And that message was sent on September 9th. Van says he did not see it until the very next day after Kirk was murdered. Van Jones just wrote a piece about this for CNN.com and is here tonight. I mean, this is extraordinary. So this was received the day before he was killed.
Yeah. Look, I mean, we were beefing. We were going at it online, on air. And then after he died, after he was murdered, my team called and said, Van, he was trying to reach you, man.
Mm-hmm.
What? And what was he doing? Dialogue. Let's be gentlemen together. He says, let's disagree agreeably.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting on this and I'm watching.
I mean, and does that sound like how, people like to call Charlie Kirk a racist? I mean, does that sound like how a racist would talk to a black man? And think about it. I mean, this is in private messages. He could have said anything and this man didn't have to release it. He could have said anything. And he chose to keep it cordially and respectful. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Charlie Kirk didn't communicate like no racist.
The whole country talk about civil war, censorship, justifying murder. About this guy? This guy is reaching out to his mortal enemy saying, we need to be gentlemen, sit down together and disagree agreeably. And the next day he's killed. And I've sat on it long enough and I just said, you know what? We're going to Memorial Weekend for this man. We disagree. Everybody knows we were not friends, okay? At all. But you praise the good when it's time to memorialize somebody. And what he did, and I didn't even know it, was good. He was not for censorship. He was not for civil war. He was not for violence. He was for dialogue, open debate and dialogue, even with me. Even with me.
If would you have gone on his show? Would you have done?
Look, I would have probably tried to get him on your show. I mean, I wasn't trying to build his platform, but I would have called him. We would have talked, and we would have started the process of trying to figure this stuff out. And I think what happens is people get so worked up, Anderson, seeing us go at it, they think they're supposed to go out and kill somebody, or go out and talk about civil war, or go out and silence people, or cancel people, or fire people, or censor people. About Charlie Kirk, Mr. Debate, I did not agree with him on literally almost anything. But we were words, not weapons, guys. We were words, not weapons, guys. And we were getting into a position where we could get some.
And here's the thing. This was a very, highly debated thing. We got Van Jones talk about mental health. We got Charlie Kirk saying it was, oh, no, this was about race. It was a very heated debate. I mean, trust me, if you've seen Twitter, it got very heated. Like anybody who had my stance, and trust me, I'm on the right having this stance, pretty much saying, no, this was about mental health. Like, y'all want to make it about race, but look, if you want to make it just about race, if this guy was part of the Islamic Brotherhood who just sits there and call people the white devil all day, I will give y'all that argument. But this is a guy who has a history of beating women. He didn't just assault a white girl. He also assaulted a black woman as well. And he has terrible mental health. And he's been let out of jail repeated times, even though he should have been stayed in there. I mean, I call this a failure of the system, not a race crime.
Real debate going, whether it's going to be on CNN.
Here's the thing. We could disagree without having to want one another dead. It's like, you can disagree with me and say, yo, Seth, you're wrong. It's obviously a race crime. You're tripping. And I'm like, okay, cool. If that's how you think, great. I'm hearing your point out. I may not, your point hasn't convinced me, but I'm at least hearing it out and we can disagree respectfully.
His show, that wasn't worked out, but I would have taken him up. I wanted to beat Charlie Kirk in a debate. I didn't want somebody to shoot him. That's how we do it in America. And the idea that now people on both sides are justifying murders and calling for civil wars, we got to calm this down, Anderson. We need to calm this down. We need to lower the temperature. Yes, we disagree, but like he said, we can disagree agreeably. That's his last words to me. Let's disagree agreeably. We should take that spirit into the Memorial Weekend. For this guy.
You also wrote that in the wake of Charlie Kirk's murders, Americans have a choice. They can choose more violence, more outrage, more censorship, or a different way. It's similar to what the governor in Utah, Spencer Cox, has said in recent days.
Yeah, look, he's a Republican. He's saying the same thing I'm saying. I'm a strong Democrat. We have a choice now. This could be the beginning of us getting off of this pathway, but the pathway we're on, Anderson, is scary. It's about more violence. It's about more retribution. It's about more censorship. It's about more of everything that nobody wants, but we can't seem to get off of it. Charlie Kirk in his last message to me was pointing a way out. Civil discourse, civil dialogue, debate. Let's disagree agreeably. If you want to get off this train, we can do it this weekend.
Van Jones, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
All right, man. Shout out Van Jones. I'm actually happy he came out with a message like that. You know, from unlikely people. He didn't have to come out there and do that. So you know what? I got to give it to Van Jones. Because trust me, Charlie Kirk had a respectful discourse with a lot of Dems, and they won't show you that. They won't show you that message. They'll sit there and let you think that